John, good to have you on here, sir. Thank you so much.
Thanks for having me, mate.
Your new album, The Little World of You and Me, came out 6 days ago, I believe, at the time of this recording. How do you feel about it being out? It's pretty fresh out there in the world.
It is, yeah. It feels really good to have a new album out, really, mate. Like it's been a couple of years since the last one. In that time, I've been sort of doing a lot of touring, a lot of different sort of places I've recorded in as well, writing, and I wanted to sort of get something that I was really happy with for the next album. And I'm really happy with it. So
Right on.
go.
How long did it take to put this whole thing together?
I'd say like I really started focusing on this as a sort of, conceptual album in the last year. So I had a couple of the songs written and recorded already, but I don't know, I kind of wanted to see how I could place those two singles in a sort of larger way and how they could fit into, I don't know, an album that's kind of personal, but it sort of has a complete world about it, I guess. So spent a lot of time thinking about that and trying to make it. So kind of the last year, I'd say.
Yeah, and it's kind of pieces of a puzzle kind of coming out in song form, just kind of piecing them together for this.
Yeah, exactly, man. Yeah, like some of the I put out How Would You Break a Heart in May 2024, and I recorded that in California actually. And so I did that, and I had another one recorded as a single, and then the remainder of the album I did at home well, back where I'm from originally in Birmingham, uh, in my parents' attic. I had all my recording equipment there, and I sort of kind of try to figure out how I wanted the whole thing to sound sonically, and like how I could make it, sort of a personal expression more than just a few songs.
Yeah. Is it difficult to kind of uh, put it into a more palatable way for other people that it might be too personal in some cases for songs, and you kind of have to manipulate it into a more grand idea for people?
Yeah, I know what you mean. Like to think of these things as sort of grand ideas. Like I don't know. Like when I start the first two singles I had in the recording sessions, they were done in like as I say, in California and in a studio there. And I also worked at the church studio in London. And I was, I've always been a tape bedroom recorder guy. And then I thought for a second maybe the next step would be to kind of record in like some fancy studios. And I think that kind of made me, you know, think about songwriting in a different way, in a way which I think was probably detrimental, because I was like, I need to make these like grand sort of statements, big production, powerful ballads. And that's kind of how I started approaching this project. And then when I was back in the attic with my familiar tape machine, I was like, you know what? I need to sort of just write about me and write about the small things in my life. And I think the songwriting and the production is sort of informed by that. So when you use the word grand, that's just what I immediately think of, really.
Good. And did you approach this album differently than the other two that were previously
Yeah,
released?
I'd say so. Partly because my first EP is Here's John Myrtle, and it's 5 songs, but it was 5 songs that I really kind of held as my babies. So like had Cyril the Slug on and The World Keeps Spinning Round. And I guess it was put together very last minute as a sort of record I wanted to put out with a label at the time. But there was no real thinking of like even what order the song should be in. It was just like, I've got these 5 songs, let's just put them out. And then the album Myrtle Soup was kind of the same thing. It did have like some conceptual soup sound effects on it. But this new one, I've really tried to like think of it as a cohesive album with the artwork, the sounds on it even more. I know Myrtle Soup had the soup bubbles, but this has got the dog barks on it. which I feel is more personal to me because I was living with a dog. And yeah, I think in a general way, it's definitely yeah, it's a more of a complete record for me, the way I see it.
Yeah. How long had those songs from Here's John Myrtle, the first album, been around before it was finally time to, all right, let's get these together and
I'd
put them
say
out?
like I'd say for 3 years. Yeah,
And
because
that
I
was put
moved.
out 2019, right?
Yeah, that's when it came out. I moved to London in 2015, and yeah, I moved there. I didn't really know anyone, and I had two roommates who like are some of my close friends, but that was it. And yeah, I was trying to sort of get into the music scene in some way, and I didn't really know what I was doing, but I decided I would just try and record some stuff on my own in my room on tape. And yeah, like I kind of those are the songs on that EP which I was sort of playing around London for like 3 years before like I had any interest from a label or whatever. Um, so yeah, so they were around for quite a while, and also on Myrtle Soup, like some of those songs are really from that time as well. So for the first time, it's been like I need to actually go away and like write new music because I was just playing those songs like all the time because I mean I'm a big fan of the Lars, the band the Lars, who did like There She Goes and if you know that song, yeah.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
And there's this one classic record which they made, and like those songs are the Lars, and it's just like about 12, 13 songs, and it was they played them for years and years and years, and I was kind of becoming that. Like I was just playing these songs. So yeah, for this new record, it's very much been like I've gone away and I've written a new batch of songs in a kind of more conceptual way. So it's been real. It's been freeing, man. So I feel great.
Do you think in the future, the next album, you'll approach it the way that you did this one?
100%, man. It's been great getting a new kind of I've entered a routine with songwriting and planning tours and how I should go about releasing an album. So it's been a learning curve, really, but like the start of a new way of doing it, rather than kind of like you know I've got these songs that I love and I just need to keep touring them and touring them and touring them. It's more like I've done my tour. It's time to go away, write a new batch, and then do it again like that.
I like that. When did you start making music? When did this start for you?
Um, Probably when I was like 14, 15, just in like you know random bands around where I'm from in Birmingham.
Hmm.
Uh, yeah, I've always, as I say, I was obsessed with the Lars for a long time. They're like my go-to. Uh, yeah, and I've always been kind of writing songs. I was playing bass in a band originally, and yeah, we used to get the train to London and play in like the most random places. I didn't really know what I was doing. I always knew that I should just keep trying to do gigs and get better at it, not with any real clear plan. But yeah, probably since I was like 14, 15, I'd say I've been writing songs.
What kind of music were you playing with this other band when
Mm.
you began? Was it is it kind of similar to what you're doing now or a bit different?
No, it's probably it's kind of the same. It was always like, I wrote it on a guitar and try and have my friends play them. I mean, I wouldn't say it was too great, to be honest. Like I don't know if I'd really want to put them out to the public or something. I mean, I don't think they're very good. But yeah, it's always kind of been the same.
So you started in Birmingham. Was there a music scene there around this time of you being in this first band playing bass and whatnot?
Yeah, there was actually. There was. I wasn't a part of it. I was kind of too young, really. But like it was going on around me, like it was sort of like surf, rock, indie. I think it was very influenced by do you remember that band Waves?
Oh, yeah, with the two V's.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
yeah,
yeah. No, I don't know.
yeah. Yeah, yeah. I mean, that was going on, and I think a lot of bands in Birmingham were like kind of wanting to do that thing, even though we weren't
Interesting.
near any beaches. But that was going on. But I don't know. I wasn't really a part of it, man. So I can't be like, I can't, you know, I can't be the cool guy and say, yeah, man, it was a great scene. I was a part of it. I can't do that, I'm afraid. So, but it was happening. I was just sort of, I don't know, still lurking in my bedroom, trying to write a good song, probably, and being too shy to try and do it.
But you finally did it
Oh, oh my God.
eventually.
Oh yeah.
What was putting out that what was putting out that first album like for you though? Did that kind of give you like, all right, now it's time to it's begun sort of a thing?
Yeah, mate, literally. It really felt like that because I mean, genuinely, I was just like doing things in my bedroom and uploading them to SoundCloud and not really having like an audience of anything. And I guess like I don't know, my music, I guess, is sort of, 60s psychedelic kind of vibe, I hate to describe my own music, but it's kind of like that. I don't know, I couldn't really find a lot of people to collaborate with when I first moved to London. And like I felt like when I finally got some interest and put the songs out, they got played by like I mean Mark Riley, he was in the Fall and stuff, but he's a quite a big radio DJ in the UK. Um, he kind of championed me to start with, which was amazing. And I ended up doing a session on his show and things like that. And that kind of it just gave me it propelled me and it kind of made me feel like, you know, people like it. So it kind of gave me a confidence to keep having a go at it, really.
Yeah. Do you think without that you would have still persisted in this
Yeah.
regardless?
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would have thought so. Yeah, 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 yeah. I would have thought so. But but having said that, like, yeah, um, just the feeling of, putting something out and feeling you have some kind of audience is it's a good feeling. It's nice.
Oh yeah, definitely. And this is around 2019, right?
Yeah,
Around the time. So, I mean, it hasn't been that long of
hasn't
a.
really.
Oh man, great, dude. Do you feel like there's a difference between where you started and where you are now in terms of influence?
Not really. I don't know. I probably listen to more music now, I guess. Um, but yeah, I don't know. It's still, I just listen to the same old crap, really. Um, yeah, I'm probably quite a boring person to, have have you do a mixtape because it'll probably be the same after the second. So yeah, I don't know. I'm still listening to the same stuff.
What do you listen to? Give us a for example if you could.
Well, I've said it like a million times now, but the Lars.
This is the first time I'm hearing
Uh,
about it.
um, I love the Kinks.
Yeah, great.
Jonathan Richman.
Oh, fantastic.
Um, just that kind of, that sound. It's like psychedelic-y. I don't know. I hate saying those words, but you know what? You know the kind of stuff.
I've heard those
I was
tunes.
a big Stone Roses fan. I still am.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
In terms of like a really like a quintessential English band, who would be in the running for that? I would say the Kinks for sure
Kinks.
are up there. Aside from the Beatles and the Rolling Stones, of course, but
Yeah.
I feel like the Kinks
Yeah.
are like really. I think that they're properly rated now, but for a while I think they were overlooked.
Oh, mate, I was, yeah, obsessed with the Kinks. Cool story. When I moved to London, I was doing like covers in a pub every Friday, and it would be for like 3 hours. It was like a paid little thing I was doing, and I had like a long list of songs I'd always do at this pub, and it was quite a few Kinks songs. And this guy comes up to me like halfway through my set, and he says, Ray Davies lives around here." And I was like, okay, no way. That's pretty cool. Fair enough. Fair enough. Anyway, carried on doing my set. And I leave this pub. It's about midnight. And so I leave the pub and I walk up the high street. It's like a kind of empty high street. You can hear the sounds of the nighttime, like a one car kind of faintly in the distance or something. And there's a guy in a shop window, like looking through. And it was Ray Davies. And so I'm approaching him, and I'm like, I think that might be Ray Davis, weirdly. And it was like, yeah, it's Ray Davis. And he like turns, And I say, "Oh, excuse me." And he's like, "Yes." I say, "Well, you know why I've stopped you." And he's like, "No, why?" And I say, "Well, it's really crazy because I've just been playing your songs in this pub right here." And I had this kind of weird chat with him at midnight. And like he asks if I'm a musician and things like that. And I tell him I've kind of moved to London to, try and make a go of something. And he leaned in, like pat me on the back and said, "Keep it up." And then just like walks off into the middle of the night. And it was like the most surreal experience I've ever had.
Oh, that's
I'm a
awesome.
diehard Kings fan, so it was freaky. It was freaky.
That's fantastic.
Yeah,
And
man.
and now you're good friends with Dave now, right? You and Dave hang out a lot now.
All the time, mate. Yeah, always down the booze with Dave. Weirdly enough, I've now met the Kinks drummer a few times, Mick Avery, because
Wow.
he plays just randomly in pubs in North London. He just plays in like covers bands, and he's very approachable.
Oh,
So
that's awesome.
I kind of am close to being friends with Dave, to be honest.
You're very close. You're
We
very
get.
close to getting the Kinks back together.
Oh yeah, oh yeah, man. It's gonna be me.
Yeah, it's gonna be you, and we're all gonna be very appreciative. It's interesting. The Kinks to me is one of those bands that I know a good amount of their discography, but then somebody I'll be in somebody's car or something like that, and I'll hear a song. It's like, is this the fucking Kinks? And I don't know. I never
Right.
knew that this song even existed
Yeah,
by
yeah,
them.
yeah.
And it's amazing.
So
It's
much good stuff.
a deep, deep well of good stuff, not just like okay stuff.
Oh
Like
yeah,
this is a good song.
100%. It's also like recorded so like lo-fi, a lot of the stuff. A lot of
Hmm.
mid 60s albums. They kind of sound like 90s indie or something. I don't know, like
In some cases, for sure, and they
yeah,
really switched their sound on some stuff. And I go, what? I
yeah,
like that's why I don't know it's the Kinks because it doesn't sound like what I know of the Kinks to sound like.
yeah, mum. It's
Yeah.
they're amazing.
Or are the Kinks one of the bands that you would like to go back and see live? Is that kind of on the top tier for you in terms of bands that you wish you could have seen?
Yeah, I would have thought so, man. Yeah. It's a good question. I don't really know who I guess the Kinks. You'd
Yeah,
say the Beatles, wouldn't you? I mean, it's so obvious,
of
but
course, of course.
um, yeah, 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 yeah. That'd be awesome. I'd love to see the Kinks. I mean, they actually were supposed to reunite like a few years ago, but I don't know if that will happen, to be honest. I don't know. But
I mean, that's what they said about Oasis for years,
true.
right?
Oh, dude, yeah. Crazy
W-
times.
Were you surprised with that?
I
Their
was, yeah,
reuniting.
I had tickets to see them, but I was doing a tour, so I had to give my tickets away, which I was very heartbroken because I was so excited to see them. But anyway,
Yeah.
my friends were like, "You can't like not. You got to do your own show. You can't like miss your show to see Oasis." But I almost did actually.
Going back to what inspires you to write lyrics, are you more inspired by your own experiences to put those into songs rather than what you see outwardly in other people or other people's experiences or stories,
Uh,
whatever that may be?
I'm sure. Yeah, I like to have some personal elements in my songs. I think whatever they may be. I normally like starting with song titles with songs. And I feel like that helps me write lyrics. It takes me a while to write lyrics. I normally kind of just la 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 a tune until the very last minute. So
That's
like,
interesting that you're starting with the title though.
yeah, yeah,
Oh
yeah.
wow.
It just keeps it very to the point and like, what is this going to be about, rather than I don't know. I find it quite amazing how some people can write so much stuff as in lyrically, and write verses and verses, and I can't do that. I need to sort of have a theme and try and squeeze out some lyrics to it, kind of like I don't know, a lemon or something, like squeeze
Yeah.
hard to get some words out. So
That's
yeah,
that's really I like that idea of that approach, John. I don't I feel like a lot of people would be afraid of doing that, of having like, oh, this is the base here. But you said no,
yeah,
fuck that. I'm gonna do it my way. I like it.
dude. Honestly, it just helps me do it, because I don't think I'd be able to just sit down and kind of write and then find what the song is about later. I think I need to kind of like I need a not a challenge. That's not the word I'm looking for. I need a goal, or Can't think of the word, man, but
No,
like,
I think goal is a fine word to describe this. And is that goal kind of once that first idea there is there of a for a song for an album, is that sort of the same goal that you're trying to reach with all the other songs that will be compiled into this idea of a new album?
I think I think so. Maybe, yeah. I think like with the new album, like I kind of had a general theme going through it in terms of the what I talk about with love and relationships and things like that. So I guess it's a similar theme, meaning they're all kind of sad love songs, really. um, and then one about a dog, obviously, which isn't a sad love song. But yeah,
Saddest song on the record, I'd say.
maybe, yeah, maybe I don't know. But yeah, I think like, does that answer your question?
Yeah, yes,
Yeah.
John, you're batting 1,000, sir. You're doing fantastic. In a grand scheme, do you feel like music from England had the biggest impact overall on the music that you make today?
Probably, man. I don't know though, because I really what yeah, maybe. I'd say like I got into recording onto tape through like the Cleaners from Venus,
Mm-hmm.
Martin Newell, but also Emmett Rhodes. Because he did his first I know he did his first album on tape, and I thought that was just so cool. Um, so I don't know. I mean, Martin Newell's English, Emmett Rhodes American. It's a bit of both, man. I obviously grew up liking primarily like British bands, I'd say. Um, and I think maybe a lot of the bands I liked, the American bands I liked, kind of are really influenced by, you know, kind of 60s British thing. So
Right. One hand washes the other.
yeah, I'd say so. Yeah, yeah, yeah. There's a through line there,
Hmm.
but I wouldn't like say, I'm like die hard. It has to be from the UK or something.
Birmingham specifically. Only Birmingham. When do you think you developed your sound? When do you think that came into uh your perspective of like, oh, this is what I'm trying to reach,
um,
or this is what I am going for?
yeah, I think when I like got my first tape recorder when I first moved to London, because I was trying to record in studios before that, and I didn't really know what I was doing, and it would be like, you'd pay for a studio and it would be with like an in-house engineer, and they obviously had their way of doing things, and like I found it quite restrictive to really like be able to create something that was unique, because you're always kind of going through whatever this guy had at their studio. You're kind of at the mercy of whatever like their outboard gear was or something like that. But like getting my own thing, which was like, this cool analog gear, like this tape machine. It was kind of like this fascinating beast that I was trying to learn how to use. And I think like through that, I spent so much time, man, just like messing around with different, you know, effect units, reverb units, and different mixing desks. I had a mixing desk I got from a guy on off eBay. I met him in a warehouse in the middle of nowhere in Manchester, and he was a real weird guy. But he sold me this desk, which was a piece of garbage, really, and it caught fire when I was recording with it. It literally blew up. I don't know why it did. I mean, kind of mixing desk blow up? Mine did. It literally caught fire. It was very scary, but like,
Well,
there
John, I'm just gonna go out on a limb here. It probably didn't blow up before you had it. That's all I'm gonna say.
yeah, man. It was kind of scary, but kind of cool, because I was just trying to like get the most random stuff off eBay and mess around and like, don't know, make something kind of unique with what I was using to record.
Yeah.
Um, so I think like that's when I kind of developed a sound, I guess, or whatever you want to call it. Like I feel like then I was able to when I was recording in studios before that, as I say, with like an in-house engineer, I always felt a bit nervous as well. I didn't want to ask too many questions. You're kind of on the clock. You're
Hmm.
kind of not in your own space, so you're probably going to be singing a little different. I don't know. I find home recording um just the best way to do it, and which is what I've kind of tried to say with this new album of mine. That like it was amazing recording in studios. It was really great, but like I think conceptually the album happened when I was literally back at home and kind of just had myself to deal with rather than like being on someone's time or something like that. It was yeah, I love home recording. Basically, home recording is what gave me my voice. It's basically
Your own home gave you your voice. Gotcha.
yeah, exactly.
Would you ever want to be in that position of being a studio engineer or a producer for somebody else's
I'd
music?
love to, man. Maybe in the future, if
Yeah.
like someone reached out and they would want to do something, I'd love to give it a go. I'm also like not. It was for this project I found like the home thing really helped, but like you know I do understand that being on your own recording music and kind of just being yourself, it's a bit much sometimes. Sometimes you want to just have fun in a studio. I get it. So like in the future, maybe I'll record in the studio as well. But yeah, to record someone else, that'd be cool. I'd like to do it.
In your home, of course, not in a
Yeah. Oh no.
nice.
Oh yeah.
You come
Yeah, I
over,
think
and I'm gonna really just like get on your case about what you're doing wrong and really fuck the vibe.
probably do an awful job or something. I don't know.
Was it difficult to learn how all these pieces of gear worked with each other?
I still don't know how to really use them, mate, to be honest. I'm sure I'm like, distorting stuff, going into the red all the time, uh, not using my preamp in the proper way. I'm sure my, gain staging is atrocious. I could go on. I'm really not. You asked me if I'd record anyone else. I'm really not selling myself here. But what
I think that's what people are looking for, though, John. That's the
maybe
thing.
I just try and do a vibe. That's it. What
Oh,
uh,
so you're Rick
what a
Rubin.
cop out. What a cop out. What you say?
You're Rick Rubin. That's what you are.
Yeah, dude, I've got like, yeah, man. I put my sandals on and just say like jargon
Hmm.
in a sort of I kind of stroke my beard, say like be you, and I think it would really help an artist if I did that.
I mean, it's worked out.
Yeah,
It's worked out in the past, John. We can't
exactly.
say that it hasn't because it has.
Have you read that book?
No, but I hear people talking about it a lot. I hear a lot of bad things about it. I hear a lot of good things about it. So I'm really in the middle here. I'm hearing a lot of
I don't
different.
know. I tried reading it and I don't think I was in the right mind. Granted, I tried reading it once in like a really loud coffee shop with kind of a crying baby next to me.
Inspiration.
Yeah, it really didn't help. It really didn't help the zen kind of mood of a circle with a dot on the front cover or whatever it is he's doing about there. But yeah, maybe I'll read it again and not be so harsh on the guy because I'm sure it's got some cool stuff in it, but I don't read.
Right. Do you think that he would be just a good hang outside
Well,
of
I
a
mean, he's made a
studio
career out of it, hasn't he? So he's probably the best hang, to be honest.
best producer hang imaginable,
I'm
right?
sure.
Okay.
I'm sure. Um, hey man, I'd love to wear sandals all day, but
Are you a sandals guy,
um,
or do you own any
with
sandals? Let's
socks on.
start there. Okay, that's been coming
I
around.
no, I don't want to insult anyone by showing them my feet. So
Mm. And it's not for
I-
free, anyways. So
sadly,
yeah.
yeah,
And by sandals, you're talking about the Birkenstocks, right?
yeah, Birkenstocks.
Okay. Yeah, those really made a a revival.
I do have some. I like them. They're cool. They're cool, man. I like Rick Rubin. Let's do it. I want
Rick
to get
Rubin,
his son.
Birkenstocks.
He wears Birkenstocks, right? I think so.
I believe so. Yes, that or just regular flip flop sort of thing. I bet a bit of both. That's what I would wager. I've never met the man though. Is there anyone else that you'd be like, yeah, that's probably a good hang. Just centering around music, whether it be a musician or a
I want to meet
producer.
Lee Mathers, mate. This is the eighth, ninth time I've said it now from the Lars. I've been very, very close to meeting him actually. Um, I'm getting there. My day will come. I've met another of my heroes, Mick Head, who did Shaq in the 90s. He's like a Liverpudlian songwriter. Don't know if you know him, but he's an amazing guy. And I did a show, I supported him on a show, and I'd always wanted to meet him. And that was pretty surreal. I don't know if I'd call it a good hang though, because I was like really nervous meeting him. I kind of just like stood there awkwardly. So if
That kind
anything,
of energy really gives a good hang, though.
yeah, I was gonna say, if anything, like whoever I say would be a good hang, I'm sure I'd make it an atrocious hang, to be honest.
No, I don't
Like
believe that, John.
one
You're
hand
you,
in my
you're
pocket.
a very likable guy. You're a very likable guy. Come on,
Thanks, man.
Rick,
Um,
let him into the studio, okay?
yeah, well,
Because he listens, so you know.
hey.
Um, do you feel like your sound is always evolving? Whether you're trying to or not, do you feel like you're just going in new directions each time
Well, I
you
want to on the next one I do, because for the for my EP, my first album, and this new one, it's always been like acoustic guitar only, and drums and
Mm,
bass, and harmonies. And I kind of want to try something new, maybe for the next one. Maybe like actually have electric guitar.
okay, that's a little bit too far. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. Like having said that, I often like kind of want to try a new sound and end up sticking to this because it's kind of what I know.
Hmm.
And sometimes it's maybe good to stick to what you know rather than like do something else. But I don't know. I've got some time now to try some new stuff for a new album. So we'll see. But yeah, I think I'd say that's kind of evolving in some way, or at least being aware of wanting to evolve.
I think that's the first step.
I'm actually not doing it in the end. But
It is recorded, but yeah, I'm never gonna go back and listen to this. I'm never gonna acknowledge I ever said any of this. It's back to the
yeah,
where I know.
exactly.
Yeah, with because I've seen a few clips of you performing. Do you always play with an acoustic?
Yeah,
Okay.
always, man. Um, yeah, I've never done electric. I'm not. I'm a rhythm player. You know, I like playing odd chords and chord, but the lead stuff, I'm okay. I'll let someone else do that. Uh, yeah, I always play acoustics. I got actually last time I was in California, I got like my dream acoustic guitar, which was incredible. I
Which
found
what is a
it's like an Epiphone Cortez from the 60s, like a Kalamazoo Epiphone, so like a Gibson. And I got it in a yard sale, and it was incredible, mate. Honestly, we like me and my me and my pal, we just drove past a sign saying yard sale here. I'd never been to a Californian yard sale, so I had to.
that's a very specific kind of yard sale. I understand.
Oh my god! And yeah, it was a yard sale, estate sale, whatever you call it. Yeah, and
Garage. We also call it a garage sale as
yard sale.
well.
Okay, yeah, yeah, yeah. But we went there, and like this couple were moving and selling a bunch of stuff, and they were lovely, and I was chatting to them for quite a while, and they didn't have like any like guitars or anything out, but he asked what I was doing there, and I was doing a tour, and
Oh, I thought you
he
meant at the house. Like, obviously, I'm here to
what do
taste the joint.
you no, sorry, excuse me, I mean, what was I doing in America? Not yeah, yeah. Not his place. That'd be funny. I'm touring your house, mate.
I'm
Where's your
looking to buy it. You said it's a garage sale. Is it just the garage? Like, what are we doing?
but uh but they just kind of had their furniture and stuff for sale. But we got talking about guitars, and he was like, "Well, I have got a guitar in my shed if you want to have a look at it." And it was this amazing Epiphone that his dad owned. And dude, he basically gave it me. It was amazing. It was such a spiritual thing. I don't know what I mean by that, but it was
It's a California garage sale thing. It's very spiritual. I understand what you're
yeah,
saying. I mean, I've been born in this. I understand how
it was
magical it
incredible.
could be.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And I still keep in touch with him actually.
Oh, that's cool.
Because he basically gave me for nothing, and like that is unheard of now. Like, any
Can we just say the price? It was $4,000. Nothing.
it was a lot less than that. Yeah, it
Three
was.
$3,500. Yes. That's incredible. How did you just take it back with you? I'm assuming.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Was
I took
were
back
you
the plane.
nervous about that? Were you nervous about like, oh, I hope nothing happens to this
Yeah,
guitar?
I was absolutely petrified. I've only just started playing it live actually, because I was like, I don't want to touch this thing. This is too like delicate, too precious. But then it's kind of like, what is the point of it? Might as well still be in his shed, if I'm not going to play it. So
Hmm.
I've started playing. I haven't. I mean, I'm in the US right now. I haven't brought it for this tour I'm about to do. So
Well,
it's
I mean, it's
at home.
like bringing something home. It's a
It's back in England now.
but it spent so much time out here
Exactly,
in the States. It's got a new home, and yeah, that's where it resides.
exactly.
I
Yeah, yeah,
understand.
yeah, yeah. But yeah, it's always the acoustic for me.
Hmm. And in terms of getting bass and drums and whatever else down, are you also doing that just solo on most of these songs from these albums?
The new one, no.
Hmm.
The others, well, the EP and Myrtle Soup, yeah. So yeah, the EP was all me, and Myrtle Soup was all me. And then it got to a point where, like, I mean, I'm not great at any instrument, but like, I feel like I can kind of put something quite nice together, but it takes me a long time. So like with drumming, I'd know what the part is, but it would literally be, you know, a metronome in my ear for about 4 hours, just trying to get every single part right on the drums. And I'm not a drummer, so it takes ages. So it kind of got to the point where like this is getting ridiculous. So I got a drummer in for the new album, but everything else is me, bar a couple of things actually. The piano on one of the tracks and bass on one of them. But basically, yeah, that kind of thing.
Right on. And these you have a band with you on this current tour that you're on.
Well, I'm supporting a band really across the states, but I just did my own show in Chicago at the Empty
Mhm.
Bottle, and I had my own band for that because that was a headline show. And yeah, these two guys, we were a three-piece, Donnie and Alan, great talented guys. I only met them. The show was 2 days ago, and I flew into Chicago and then slept because I was so jet lagged. Woke up, went to this guy's house, Donnie's house, and just they knew all the bits, and we literally like rehearsed for 2 hours. I just met them, and then we were at the gig, and it was amazing. They were
How did
so they
how
were so
did you how did you meet these fellas? How did you get in contact with these guys?
my pal who I'm staying with now. He's friends with them, and
Okay.
I think they were. I actually think they were fans of my music, which is amazing to me, really. I feel kind of weird saying that, to be honest, but they were fans of the music and knew all the parts. It was so cool. I went to Donny's house and they'd learnt it all and it sounded so good and it was like it was really it was amazing, man. It was so lovely of them. And yeah, we played the show and it was such a fun night. It just felt good, meeting and connecting with people, especially Americans on the other side of the world who I'd never met before. It was so cool.
That's
Music's all
incredible.
fucking love music. The best, isn't it? It's the
It's
best.
pretty good. It's pretty good. Most of it. Some of it.
Yeah.
A portion is really good. No, shout out to Donnie and who was the other guy?
Alan.
And Alan. Wow, incredible. That's like a
MTV Ghosts is their band.
MTV go. That's a fucking phenomenal name. Um, I like that.
Yeah, man.
Uh, well, that's great. Is it easy to see how you've gone through all of these albums, going from one to the next, or the EP to the two albums? Is it easy to kind of trace that lineage of I see how I got to this idea to that idea.
Yeah. I often, when I'm like writing new stuff, I kind of idealize how I wrote other things before and like forget that it was a lot of hard work, really. And it takes a long time, I guess, to write a song that I think is good. So like, yeah, like I often have to be like, oh no, these songs didn't just, come out the sky like in 30 seconds. It's normally like a little germ of an idea, and then you sort of kind of it might sound good or not at the time, and then like if you remember it a few months later, you're suddenly like, oh yeah, this idea that's kind of tangible and exists, I can use it. In fact, does that kind of answer your question? That's kind of what.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely, John. Do you find that Here's John Myrtle, Myrtle Soup, and the most recent release, The Little World of You and Me, do you view these three releases as being different from one another vastly, or is it kind of under the same umbrella of maybe there's some ideas that are shared upon these three?
I think they're all shared, really. Um, Definitely. It's still it's the same writing process, really, and often the same recording process. But I'd say like this new album, as I said earlier, like I'm really happy that how it is as a whole. And I think my last album had some really great songs on. It had a couple I'm not a fan of. So like I don't know, maybe this will change. Maybe I'll love Myrtle Soup later on and hate this new album. But for now, I kind of
For
feel
right,
like,
yeah, for right now, speaking in
yeah, I
this
kind of feel
current.
like with this one, it was sort of, I went into it being like, I need to record an album rather than like I had a bunch of songs that I've played live for a number of years, which I can kind of compile into an album and then add maybe a couple of things. For the most part, with the new one, it was like I actually had the album cover to start with.
Even before having the ideas for any of the song titles, you had the album cover.
Yeah,
Wow.
and it's I guess it's a bit like having the titles of songs. It's kind of like I had this cover, this photo which I took, which I just loved, and it was kind of it's like a reflection on a lake, and it's kind of quite dreamy. Um, and I don't know, I just sort of tried to think what kind of songs would fit with this cover. So it was it was all conceptual going into it this time, and I think the others have been more, just sort of almost like portfolios, or I don't know, like just a compilation of some sort. Whereas this has been like, what am I going to write for this thing?
Which is not horrible, but you're shifting in a new direction with it.
It's not horrible at all. It's kind of cool in
Yeah.
its right, but it
That's
was a
really interesting, though.
yeah,
It seems like you kind of working backwards to how some people do it. They go, okay, what image does this spawn from hearing this? Not looking at an image and creating a soundtrack for that.
yeah.
That's really interesting.
I don't know. I guess having sort of like tangible things that I can like work towards, which are already there, kind of help me get something over the line, if you know what I mean, rather than it
Yeah,
all just existing in abstract, maybe.
right. Here is a thing I can look at, and this is like a barometer, if you will. Oh,
Yeah.
that's fascinating, John. Um, how often did you glance at that picture while making this?
All day. No.
Yeah, just staring at it.
You know what, mate? Like, it sounds a bit ridiculous, but like, if I was sort of struggling to finish a song or like be stuck on a lyric or yeah, just even like a musical part, I would literally like take a step back. I would often have the title on my laptop. I'd go on notes and I'd have the title in bold, and I have the what I had so far, the track listing, and then I would get the photo below it, and I'd be like, this needs to. It was just very kind of regimented with like, I need this to be a finished thing which exists as an album. So I was very kind of, I had it in mind this time for it to be like that, which I
That
guess is
is fascinating. you've been on tour as we discussed here in the US while the little world of you and me was released. Why did you decide to put this album out while doing this tour here?
Because it just feels like I get to sort of, I don't know, I have a bunch of different stuff then to sort of think about, talk about with people, connect with people about, rather than like, you know, finish this, go. I don't know. It just felt spontaneous. It was spontaneous just putting it out like this. There's no real plan, to be honest.
I've never known anybody to do it. I like it.
Yeah, man. I don't know. It just felt nice to put it out and tell people. I mean, I'm supporting a band out here, so these are crowds that for the most part probably won't know who I am when I'm first playing to them. So like to share with them like a new album and say like I've come with a thing to share with you all that's just been put out. I don't know. It just felt exciting to do it in that kind of way.
That
And
is that's a
I
that is
guess
a really interesting way of doing it.
yeah, I
Absolutely.
guess there's no rules. I've had a lot of people tell me I shouldn't do that, genuinely, but gives a shit.
And look, we love you, Ray. We do. Okay, we're not saying that you're not an expert musician, but sometimes, just a dawn of a new age.
Exactly, man.
Yeah, and sometimes some people kind of turn off their brain when musicians say, "Oh, this is here's something new." They go, "I don't really want to hear that. I want to hear the stuff that I like." So if you're coming in as a new person with new stuff, they're gonna really gel with that, and then they're gonna go back and, "Oh, that's the new
Exactly,
stuff. What's the old stuff? Listen
exactly,
more."
dude.
Or
Yeah, yeah. That's what I was thinking, really.
that's what I'm thinking too. I
Yeah.
like it. Um, have you been playing mostly new material on on these dates?
Yeah, yeah, pretty much some new stuff, like unreleased stuff, and the new album, some of the old ones. I mean, I guess like as we talked about with like, my process kind of staying the same really from the EP and the two albums. In a way, it's quite nice because I don't really feel like I like all the stuff I've written really. It's not like, oh, this kind of, like I don't want to play those old songs because they're old. I kind of feel like I don't know. Even the old songs still feel new to me when I play them, even though a lot of people who've seen me a few times are like probably a bit tired of me playing the old stuff. I like it. I don't know. It all feels new and fresh in a way, especially when you're doing it just acoustic like this. You can kind of put your own not your own spin. It is my own spin to begin with. I mean, I don't know. Perform it in whatever way I kind of want and connect with a crowd in like you know in whatever way is kind of cool at the time. Maybe I'll do this song, maybe I'll do that song. I don't know. It's nice to kind of switch it up every night. That's what I'm saying.
Right, and I would wager to guess that even if you did feel like some songs were old and you played them with these fellas from Chicago, that would feel new to you, even if they felt like, "Oh, I've done this like
Oh
800
yeah.
times."
Oh yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
that even just new blood in it into a new song is it's already new.
Always, man.
Plus putting new blood into an old song that's going to revive it in a different way.
Definitely. No,
Yeah.
exactly. And it's been, yeah, it's it's just always fun. I don't know. Yeah. I also I have to say I kind of change it up every night really what I play. But I mean,
Mhm.
you know, uh, yeah, we'll see.
What has what have the crowd's reactions been overall to these songs, both new and old, on this tour?
It's oh man, it's been great. Genuinely, it's been really cool. I've met so many people. And it's been lovely. It's always been positive. I've never had like I haven't been booed off stage just yet. We'll see what happens. But no, it's always been good. I like American crowds. They're really cool. I like it.
Yeah. Do you pay attention to how the crowd reacts when you're performing? Is that kind of what's grabbing your attention while up on stage?
Yeah. Yeah, yeah. I mean, as an acoustic, just a soul acoustic guy, I guess like you can really tell when people are listening and when they're not. Maybe when they're talking a bit.
Oh
And
man, yeah, yeah.
I don't mind. It's the I personally feel the worst thing a performer can do is shush a crowd. Um, when I've seen people play acoustically and and I have seen them do that, kind of tell people to be quiet. It's like a bit like, I don't know. It's like watching a school teacher or something, kind of like be quiet down the class. So I think it's kind of it's up to you to be able to
Maneuver
engage
the
the
situation.
audience.
Hmm. Yeah.
And sometimes you can't. And like, I'm not saying like if you can't, you suck. Maybe it's just not the right night. But like, yeah, I mean, I'm happy to say that's not happened yet. So yeah, it's been great. It's been cool. And we've got, yeah, there's another 10 shows. So hopefully it's all good.
So you're just about wrapping it up, right? Like tomorrow, I guess. It's just about done. 10
Yeah.
more. No, I mean it's fucking 10 more shows. Yeah, is there a large difference between playing in England or in playing in the States or playing somewhere else? Do you feel like each place kind of has its own vibration?
Kind of feel like American crowds seem more enthusiastic, to be honest. Um, in general as well, not maybe just for my kind of music. I mean, maybe it is just my music. I don't know. Maybe it kind of it goes off better to an American crowd having like, oh my god, a British guy on stage. It's crazy. I don't know. Maybe it's just like, yeah, yeah, yeah. In England. I don't know. But no, I love it. It's I don't know if I feel like I'd need to do do this again to maybe have a better gauge of like, state by state what the differences are. Because I'm sure there are. Mate, I don't know. Like all the crowds have been great. They're very enthusiastic. They really listen. They like as a guy opening for another band, like, I'm quite amazed like that everyone is here for the opener. I don't know if you find that, like, I don't know if you go to a show and you want to see the support as well, but I have noticed that like, you know, a lot of these shows have been sold out and everyone is there for me and it's great. And like I think that I've done a lot of I've toured a lot in the UK as a headliner, but also as an opener. And when I'm doing opening, it's like very give or take whether there's going to be, a large crowd there. But
Mm,
here it's without fail. So it's kind of like I love
that's
this.
great. That's great. I mean,
Good.
that's awesome.
Yeah, man.
I mean, overall, do you enjoy performing live? Is that kind of one of the key
I love
aspects
it.
of making music that you really?
Yeah, yeah. I think I love it more than recording. Really, I like engaging with people. I mean, I've got a few eccentric songs about various things. Like spiders and slugs and I don't know dogs. Uh, some like sadder songs, some songs I find quite personal. I get to tell a story about them. I just get to talk and engage, have fun, and I guess you do have fun recording, but I am in my room with a metronome in my ear, recording drums for like 5 hours or something. Is that fun? I guess so. Maybe for the first half an hour or something. I don't know. It's kind of for me. It's like the reward of recording is like you get to go out and do it again. I
Yeah,
think to be able to do that, you got to keep recording and putting out music, which is kind of what I've really learned. So yeah, it's kind of for me, it's the reward going out and performing, and it's my favorite part of it. I think.
good answer, John. It's a good answer. I'm not gonna argue with you on that. I know this answer will change, but at this moment, what is your favorite song off the new album?
um, I like I've spent lifetimes loving you. Um, Partly because it's like the happier love song on the album. Um,
As opposed to the sad dog one.
yeah, I mean, is that a love song? I guess it is a love song to my
It's
dog.
not a sad song.
It's
It's
not a sad song at all.
very
Kind of
expressive.
human to human love songs. I mean, that's the happy one out of those ones, right? Um, yeah, I had. The reason I say that song is because it was the last one I wrote and recorded, and I was literally I needed to finish this album before I went away. Like I'm quite bad with deadlines usually, and I was flying to America to do this tour, and I needed to have the album done before I went away. That was kind of like what I had to do, and literally like I wrote and recorded it in the last day before I flew, and it
Wow.
was like so intense doing it, and like I don't know, it was very stressful and kind of had to do it kind of thing. And yeah, I'm just really for me just as kind of like a as the writer of it, I like that one because I managed to do something in such a kind of like condensed amount of time and put it together. So I feel quite proud, proud in that way, getting that one done. So I'd say that one. I think for me, I don't know.
I think you do know. How do you want your music to be remembered? How do you want this to stand in time?
Oh, I don't know. I don't know. I guess I like the. I've always liked DIY kind of home recording artists like Cleaners from Venus, as I say, Emmett Rhodes. Off the top of my head, I can't think right now, but like those kinds of guys, sort of like David Westlake, The Servants, love him. I'm sure more will come as I keep talking, but as I say, I guess like I think if you say how would you like your music to be remembered, I guess like in that kind of way, like I'm very much like a DIY kind of guy. I do everything myself pretty much. I haven't got a team. It's all kind of like just me and a guitar man and a tape machine. And I think like that's the way I don't know. I'd like the music to be remembered. It's very much kind of like that kind of ethos of do it yourself, do it in your room. Um, it's not too I don't know music industry y kind of vibes. I'm just
Right.
I'm a fan of music and love making it and kind of want to. I like creating a world which is like yeah a bit ramshackle, a bit kind of like off the beaten path.
Yeah.
So I guess maybe that. I don't
It's a
know.
good answer. It's a good answer, John. And hey, man, I really appreciate you coming on here today. Thank you so
so
much.
much, so much fun, dude. Thank
All
you.
right. I appreciate you at least just faking the endorsement. But before I
Ah,
let you go, we got some promo to do here. There's a lot of stuff going on, so we gotta let the people know about it. Like we mentioned before, John's new album, The Little World of You and Me, is streaming everywhere. Wherever people get their music, that's where they could find it, right?
yes.
Perfect. And along with the other releases that we've mentioned, can all be found wherever you listen to your music. You can find the merch through the Bandcamp at johnmyrtle.bandcamp.com. Is that the best place?
Yeah, man. And there is gonna be a physical release of The Little World of You and Me in the next. I mean, I don't know when this is gonna go out, but
This is coming out. This is, by the way, I'm glad you mentioned that. This will be the first one that I put out on a Monday.
fantastic, man. Yeah, yeah. So there's gonna be a physical release of this record as well. It's all gonna be either on Bandcamp or my website, like johnmyrtle.co.uk.
Yeah, and there's also some merch up there as well.
Yes.
If you want
Yeah,
if you
yeah,
want to go there. And you update where you're going to be playing in the shows little button on the website as well. So if anybody wants to go see
across
where
the states and a few in the UK in
you're
October.
you're everywhere.
I think so. I think
I
I
mean,
am.
you're there right now. So, johnmyrtle.co.uk is where you could stay up to date with everything. And if you have Instagram, that's also a good place to stay up to date with what you're
Best
doing
place.
as well.
Yeah, man.
Which is at John underscore Myrtle um on Instagram. The World of You and Me pushes on the US Lake, and then you have a couple of other dates
In the UK.
in the UK, which that starts later September this month. Still
The UK starts in October
October. Okay,
from
so
the 7th, I believe, in
so
London.
if anybody in America misses you on these dates, they got to go over
Yeah,
to
playing.
England. Yeah,
Yeah,
so go over to England if you miss John on these dates.
obviously.
And do we have anything else to promote, John?
That's it, man. Yeah, yeah. Literally, my new album, my shows. That's what we're doing right now. And then I'm going to be back in the lab recording a new album.
Right on. Yeah, I'm gonna come over and check out the attic. Maybe rent it. I don't know. We'll
Oh
see.
yeah, dude.
We'll see. John, you're the man. Thank you so much.
So much, mate.
Um, the little world of you and me is streaming now, and go check it out. John, I can't thank you enough. I'm gonna stop recording this. I'll talk to you in a minute. Okay.
Cheers, dude.
All right.